Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to talk about this Holga that was sent to me from an Instagram account called Helicord over in Hong Kong. A guy called Johnny sent me this and he said, Roger, if I send you one of these cameras that I've made, Holga, can you have a little look, let me know what you think? This is like Holga on steroids. It's basically got its own shutter speeds put in the top there. I've never seen anything like this. I asked him, is anyone else making these? He said, no, I'm the one that's making them. It's got electronic shutter inside and he's managed to transform a normal Holga into a Holga with various shutter speeds. There is only one aperture, f13, but that's fine because the exposures I can use control with the shutter speed, starting from bulb mode to 1 second all the way to 1/25th of a second. And for you guys that are already familiar with Holga, my 120N here has a shutter speed of about 1/100th of a second, and it has two apertures, f8 and f11, and they're controlled by a little tiny switch on the top of the camera, which has got a sun or a cloud. So obviously sunny, it will be f11, a cloud will be f8. And here's the two cameras side by side. This one is the Holgon, and this is my original Holga 120N. There's a slight couple of different changes on the fronts of these cameras. On this one, you've got the Holgon logo there, and this in Chinese writing means very bright. The lenses are pretty much the same. And if we come to the shutter side of the cameras, you can see this is the Holgon here, the original Holga, both the same. And this original Holga's got two apertures, one for sunny and one for cloudy. It's supposed to be f8 and f11. You can see we've done away with that on this one, and this is just set at f13. And at the top of this we've got the on and off because it's power operated, so this turns the batteries on and off. I've got it in the off position at the moment to save the batteries. I did leave it on the on position and the battery's completely drained, so make sure you keep it in the off position. And on the tops of the cameras, this is where the real differences are. So on the top of the Holgon you've got your shutter speed selector, which is, I think it's a fantastic idea, and on the Holga 120N they've got the hot shoe. So Holgon have done away with the hot shoe and they've shoved the shutter speed selector on top. But of course the real main difference is going to be the guts inside. Once the backs are off, you can see this is the Holgon, you can see the electrical circuit inside there. And this is the Holga 120N, that's all the mechanical spring shutter. And you can see this is the original shutter from the 120N, spring loaded. It's in bulb mode at the moment, but you can see that's the shutter there. And if you look closer at the Holgon, you can see all the electrics inside and the electronic shutter. This also is in bulb mode, so if I just press the shutter release button on the side, that's in bulb mode. Very clever. And if you've never seen Holga or don't know anything about them, I didn't either until a few years ago. Someone sent me this one here, this 120N. It's a cheap plastic camera. You can pick these up for about 30 quid or 30 bucks or whatever. They're originally a toy camera. That was, I think people picked it up and said, hang on a minute, this is a toy, but it'll take some decent little photographs. It's got a unique look of its own. Build quality is absolutely awful, but it's got a little plastic lens. Focusing is done by turning the lens here, so you've got little tiny diagrams, a mountain range and a group of people, a few people, and a portrait mode as well. No through the lens, just a plastic little thing you look through and guesstimate your compositions. A little red window at the back, and it takes medium format. This one shoots at 6x6 and so does this one as well. There are some adaptations as well that you can change it in different formats, but this one I've set to 6x6. But I'll tell you what, since I've been using this Holga, I think they're fantastic. They're just fun to shoot, really fun, real simple. I love shooting this, just taking it out now and again, and I've come back before and had some really nice looking prints. If we take the back off, pop that out, you can see in there's two AA batteries. And if you leave it in the on position, there's a little switch there. If you leave it in the on position while you're storing it, the batteries will run down. I've already found that out. So if you turn it into the off position, your batteries should stay with life in them for quite some time. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to grab the GoPro and my microphone, take the Holgon very bright camera out with me. I think it's very bright. It's not bright outside, it's a bit dull actually, it's a bit overcast. So I'm going to take a roll of 400 speed film, not the expired film, a nice fresh piece of film, and we'll go out and we'll take some pictures. I'm not going to start dabbling with the shutter speeds and making sure they all work. I'm just going to use my Sekonic light meter and make sure that I'm metering everything for f13 and then the shutter speed accordingly. So let's get out on location and see what we can find. So to try this camera out, I've come down into my village, and the amount of times I've lost count I've come down here to take photographs. I've probably taken photographs of every position of this village, but today I thought I'll bring out the Holga, obviously, try the Holga out, but I've put it on a little tiny tripod there, so I can get lots of low down shots. And I've started to look at these leaves. I haven't shot the Holga in the village before, but just to try something different, I thought I'd get lots of low down shots near where I live. Let's see how creative we can get. So a little bit of incident reading, and it's given me f11.3 at 1/8 of a second, so that'll kind of be okay for that f13 aperture that's on the camera. 1/8 of a second. Notice I haven't got a cable release because my Holga attachments won't fit that camera for my cable release, but that's not a problem because that the shutter on that is so sensitive when I press it. I shouldn't get any shake whatsoever. 1/8 of a second, I hope not. I've got Kodak Tri-X 400 in the camera, so flat day. Hopefully we can put out some contrast. I hope these are coming out alright. 1/30th and 1/8 of a second so far, but with my other Holga there's no way I could have done that. I'd have had to change film or do something in the development, but usually with the other Holga I'll go out with a 400 speed film on a nice kind of bright cloudy day. Shut up. What are you barking at me for? Usually I'll go out with the Holga on a sunny day with clouds, landscapey, a 400 speed HP5 usually, but today's quite a flat overcast day. I'm not expected to get great results, but of course I could play with the contrast in the development, but I'm not good. I'm just going to develop normally, see what I get. This time 1/15th of a second. So I'm just going to put the camera down there and look up. There's a tree there, and these this bridge railings going across. I don't know, see how it works. Infinite. The thing with these cameras is they're absolutely prone for light leaks. Sometimes the back falls off as well. Because this is brand new, I'm trusting it. I just want to see if a brand new Holga can keep the light in. So I haven't put no tape on it, but normally with my Holga I have to tape the sides, tape the back, tape all the areas where any light can leak and go and shoot it. But it's still good fun. It's just a laugh. Sort of. So another thing I forgot to mention at the start of the video, that Johnny's also put Wi-Fi in this thing. You can actually connect to an app and control the exposures for long exposures and stuff via an app. I couldn't quite get it working with my Android. Maybe I'm a technophobe or something like that, but I just couldn't get it working. But I'm sure anyone interested will be able to contact Johnny and he'll give instructions how to get that app up and running. App up and running on your iPhone or your Android system. I was using Android, couldn't get it working. So, but other than that, fantastic little bit of kit. I'm really impressed with what he's done with putting shutter speeds on there, and I got some not bad results when I went around the village. I did notice that some of my images weren't quite as in focus as they should have been, but typical Holga. When I got back, I started to investigate, and I noticed the back of this one, it just needs a little bit of pushing in. It feels like the film is kind of wandering away from the film plane. And like I said, Holgas are toy cameras, and you do have to do a little bit of taping up and stuff. So next time I use it, I'll just make sure that I tape the back nice and tight, because it was shifting away very slightly. You can see there, just a couple of millimeters, it had shifted out of place. But I just need to put a bit of tape on there and get it nice and tight when I shoot it. But you know, that's no big deal, because I'm used to doing that with my Holga for light leaks. And I did another small test in my kitchen as well, put another roll of film in, and this time I held the back really firm, took a picture, and then let it wander a little tiny bit, pulled it out where it probably was on those photographs, and took another picture, and hey ho, they were getting sort of out of focus. So I just got to make sure that I keep that back nice and sturdy. But all these Holgas come out in different shapes and sizes and faults as well, but that's Holga for you. And for me personally, there's only one downside to having shutter speeds on the Holga, is that I've got to take a light meter out with me and you know, start kind of doing normal photography. One of the things I love about the Holga and the pinhole is that it's no fuss photography. With this one, I don't have to worry about the shutter speeds. It's already set. The apertures are pretty much already set. All I've got to do is put the right film in, go out on the right day, and just take pictures. I don't have to meter up like I do with this one. So I do feel that it's taken a little bit of the fun out of it for me personally, shooting the Holga. But that's not going to put me off in any way, shape or form. It's still a great little addition to Holga, if that's the kind of shooting that you like to do. But for me personally, I just like to go out and shoot without worrying about the light. But like I said, I think it's a fantastic addition what he's done. Stuck shutter speeds on a Holga. Who'd ever thought of the day they'd see a shutter speed on a Holga camera? Anyway, guys, well done, Johnny Helicord. If you want to get more information on that camera, or if you want to purchase one of these, I'll put the information to Johnny in the description, so you can contact him, or Helicord Camera, or on Instagram. I'll put the links in the description, and I'm sure he'll accompany you if you want to get hold of one of these Holgas with the shutter speeds, and also how to get that app working as well. So well done to you, mate. I think it's fantastic. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you found it interesting. I certainly did. I'm looking forward to shooting that a little bit more often in the future. And if I don't fancy taking a light meter, I'll take the other Holga. And if you remember in my last video where I was showing the Kentmere 100 and the Kentmere 400, I put a little tiny competition out to win 2 rolls of those films, the 100 and 400 film. And I said all you've got to do is find the subliminal message that I put throughout that video, which the word was Yashica. Lots of people put in the comments. There was also some on Instagram and some on Facebook as well, which I've also dumped into those comments myself. So I thought the fairest way of doing it was just click search for Yashica within the comments, scroll through without looking, stop, and whoever I stop at is going to be the winner of those 2 films. Let's give it a go, make sure it's working. So I screen recorded the comment section in YouTube. I searched for Yashica. I just kept clicking and clicking and clicking, and then I've put it on my video timeline, which is what you're watching now. And I speeded it up by 20% and jumbled them all up. All I've got to do is press the space bar and go stop. And the winner is, out of all them people, Peter Holga is actually a YouTuber as well. So well done, Pete. Those 2 films are off to you. Thanks everyone for entering that little competition. Just a bit of fun. 2 rolls of Kentmere off to Peter Holga. Catch you later.